Germany's Chancellor Olaf Scholz has unveiled a €200 billion plan to guard the German economy against the effects of soaring energy prices. The plan includes a cap on natural gas and electricity prices and will also scrap a proposed gas tax on consumers. Germany is coping with an energy crisis after Russia cut gas supplies to Berlin in response to Western sanctions over the war in Ukraine.
After weeks of debate about what measures the German government should and would take to help customers through a winter of spiralling energy prices, finally a clear decision from the Chancellor, who spoke via video link because of a positive COVID test.
We are talking about a price cap for gas, and for that purpose we have now set up a committee that will come up with concrete suggestions in a very short time. We've now put in place the means to lower prices for consumers all over the country, for families, for pensioners, for tradespeople, but also for businesses big and small. And that's what's desperately needed now, so we can get through these difficult times.
The shutdown of cheap Russian gas has resulted in German energy prices skyrocketing. Help from the government is badly needed to cushion the blow to households and businesses. Spain and Portugal already introduced a gas price cap, and both the UK and France have announced plans to curb energy prices. But the German government had sidestepped the measure so far. On Wednesday, the leaders of Germany's 16 federal states met to discuss the energy crisis and called for decisive action from Olaf Scholz.
The weakness of the government's measures so far is that they've been minor. They've tried to solve one of the biggest challenges in Germany's history with inadequate tools. What we need now is a big plan, a big commitment.
Now that big commitment has been made, though the exact numbers still need to be thrashed out. With winter fast approaching, Germans will be hoping that it will be enough to help get them through the cold.
Let's bring in DW political correspondent Thomas Sparrow. So a price cap on natural gas and a fund to offset the impact of inflation. Thomas, what more can you tell us?
Well, those are the two major elements of this new package unveiled by the German government. It's not the first package that the German government presents to try and help consumers, try and help businesses as well, but it is the latest package that they have presented, especially at a time when they were facing a lot of pressure from businesses, from consumers that are particularly concerned about these very high prices in the last few weeks. It comes at a time when Germans are also worried about rising inflation. In fact, it is a striking coincidence, Gerhard, that right at the same time as the government was presenting these new measures, the new figures for German inflation were also presented, 10% for September. This is being described as the highest rate in nearly 70 years. So this gives you an idea of just how serious the situation is in this country at a time. It also explains why the German government presented this very large fund, this price cap as well for gas, and all these measures that were unveiled today.
Now, the 10% inflation that you mentioned there, also announced today, is that just linked to the higher energy prices?
It's not just linked to the higher energy prices, but it is undoubtedly the case that the higher energy prices are behind this increasing inflation, are behind all these concerns that Germans now are facing, especially when it comes to the winter months, where it comes to whether they will be able to pay their energy bills, whether they will be able to deal with all these increasing prices. That explains why the German government was under so much pressure in the last few weeks to present a new package of measures. It also explains why today it was not only about those 200 billion that the German government will spend to try and sink prices on the one hand, but also help consumers and help businesses on the other hand. It really explains why the German government is trying to help everyone involved. It is a matter of great concern among Germans how they will cope with all these issues when it comes to the very difficult winter months.
Thomas Sparrow there for us. Thanks you, Tom.